Donald Trump is having a disastrous Friday as total chaos engulfs the United States. Donald Trump and his Attorney General Pam Bondi directed that Don Lemon be arrested. Don Lemon has been criminally charged right now in connection with being an independent journalist who was reporting a few weeks back at a St. Paul church where a protest was taking place. Don Lemon did nothing criminal at all. What we're learning is the Department of Justice offices in Los Angeles, as well as in Minnesota and Minneapolis, they refused to take any part in this criminal prosecution, but Pam Bondi went around their backs with Todd Blanche, and now the White House is posting images gloating and spiking the football and mocking Don Lemon after now persecuting and prosecuting a independent journalist. Our heart goes out to Don Lemon, and we stand in solidarity with Don Lemon. In addition, we're on the verge of a massive government shutdown right now. You have Lindsey Graham, who's placed a hold on the appropriations bill that's currently in front of the United States Senate. He says, unless and until states and local municipalities are criminally prosecuted for helping migrants or protecting migrants, unless there are federal laws in place to prosecute mayors and governors, he says that he's not going to support the current appropriations bill in its current form. He also wants to make sure that he is able to sue the Department of Justice and Special Counsel Jack Smith for subpoenaing phone records relating to Donald Trump from the insurrection that had Lindsey Graham's phone number on it. That's a major sticking point for Lindsey Graham. So now our entire government is heading into a shutdown because of Lindsey Graham and MAGA Republicans. Meanwhile, inflation is surging. We've gotten the latest inflation readouts, and it's significantly higher than people expected. I mean, the core inflation surging past 3%. We'll talk about what's going on there, well above expectations of 2.7%. And we all intuitively know when we go to grocery stores, when we go outside, when we go to clothing stores, everything is significantly more expensive and not affordable. And the inflation numbers today are absolutely abhorrent, and they reflect that as well. And meanwhile, Donald Trump was holding this event in the White House where he's announced his new chairman of the Federal Reserve pick. I'll talk about that in a moment. But Trump was asked by reporters during this press conference that he held moments ago, why are you suing your own administration and the IRS? Why are you suing yourself, your government, the United States government, for $10 billion? Isn't this like a ridiculous lawsuit because you're saying they leaked your tax returns 10 years ago? What are you even doing? So you're going to make the taxpayers pay you $10 billion? Donald Trump attacks the reporter and says, "Oh, you're ABC, you're fake news. I didn't call on you," and starts yelling at the reporter because he is an utter maniac. Watch this.
President, why are you suing your administration and the IRS? Why are you suing?
Who are you with?
I'm with ABC News.
You're a loud person. Very loud. Let somebody else have a chance.
Can you answer the question? Why are you suing IRS?
ABC fake news.
You're suing.
Go ahead. I didn't call on you. Go ahead, please. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
Do you think the upcoming
ABC, by the way, is truly one of the worst. Go ahead.
And then Donald Trump says, elections have consequences. We have a silent majority. People love what I'm doing. They don't go out and riot. Oh, January 6th. Also, you don't have the silent majority. Right now, your approval's at 37%, according to the latest Pew. You're polling amongst the Hispanic communities like a 24% approval. Amongst 18 to 29-year-olds, it's at 30%. Here's what Donald Trump says. He goes, we don't riot.
We'll say it very plainly. Elections have consequences. The people want law and order. And we have a silent majority. You know, we have a silent majority of people. They don't go and riot and everything else, but they like what we're doing. They like having a safe city.
Also, we should note that apparently 3 million documents from the Epstein files have been released today out of 6 million documents that were collected. We're still going through a lot of these, a lot of references to Donald Trump's names, allegations, and complaints about calendar parties that Donald Trump threw with Epstein. I'm going to do a whole other video. I have to go through all 3 million of these. But one of the things that we know, as Kyle Cheney writes, enormous number of Steve Bannon texts in these new batches of Epstein files. They had an obvious familiarity, comfort, joking with each other, mocking Trump while discussing financial arrangements, the Mueller probe, we build the wall, geopolitics, Qatar, UAE, Russia, China, actual contacts with foreign leaders, and making constant arrangements to meet, talk, and film an Epstein documentary. That's what's going down right now. By the way, in addition to Don Lemon, other independent journalists were attacked as well, and other independent journalists were arrested. You see right here, DEA agents showed up to arrest independent journalist Georgia Fort right here. Do you see the DEA agents right there? And there's a whole video of that I want to share with you, but it's absolutely horrific what they did to Georgia Fort. She was the vice president, or is the vice president, of the National Association of Black Journalists, Emmy Award winning, and they attacked her. She was at the church as well, just filming, and they went after her. Here's what Todd Blanche had to say about the Epstein files. Again, he's the number 2 at the DOJ, former Trump criminal defense lawyer. He's the guy who spoke with Ghislaine Maxwell in Tallahassee, and then she lied through her teeth, and he was like, great job, Ghislaine. I mean, this guy is totally corrupt. Here he is saying that of the 6 million documents collected, they've only are going to be releasing 3 million because they say the other 3 million don't matter or are not relevant. Here, play this clip.
He erred on the side of over-collection of materials from various sources to best ensure maximum transparency and compliance, which necessarily means that the number of responsive pages is significantly smaller than the total number of pages initially collected. That's why I mentioned a moment ago, we're releasing more than 3 million pages today and not the 6 million pages that we collected.
Then he's asked, do you have a reaction to the arrest of Don Lemon? Here's what he says. Let's play this clip.
I have anything to share about that.
And to follow up on that, do you have a reaction to the arrest of Don Lemon overnight?
Do you have a reaction to what?
To Don Lemon's arrest overnight?
Do I have a reaction to it? I don't know what that means. What are you looking for me to do? Jump up and down? No, I don't have a reaction to it. I don't know that the charges are unsealed yet. So no, I can't. I'm not going to comment on that.
Thank you.
And he says, what do you want me to do? Jump for joy? This is what the White House account posted. When life gives you lemons. So they are literally mocking their persecution and prosecution of independent journalist Don Lemon. As I noted at the outset of this video, inflation is surging. The December PPI inflation comes in at 3% above expectations of 2.7%. The core PPI inflation unexpectedly rises to 3.3% above expectations of 2.9%. Core PPI inflation is now at its highest level since July 2025. It's going back up. PPI inflation is running way hotter than expected. Now, the event at the Oval Office, again, was covering so much more than this now because of the chaos that's unfolded this morning. But Kevin Warsh is an individual who Donald Trump said would be his next pick to replace Jerome Powell when Jerome Powell's term is over as the chairman of the Federal Reserve. Senator Tom Tillis of North Carolina has stated the following. Yes, Kevin Warsh is a qualified nominee with a deep understanding of monetary policy. However, the Department of Justice continues to pursue a criminal investigation into Chairman Jerome Powell based on committee testimony that no reasonable person could construe as possessing criminal intent. Protecting the independence of the Federal Reserve from political interference or legal intimidation is non-negotiable. My position has not changed. I will oppose the confirmation of any Federal Reserve nominee, including the position of chairman, until the DOJ's inquiry into Chairman's Powell's is fully and transparently resolved. More this morning, you had Kevin Hassett, Donald Trump's national economic advisor, making his rounds on the morning shows, lying that, it's actually not that bad that inflation rose to 3.3%. That actually means things are working. It's because all of the great data centers are being built. Here, play this clip.
This movie.
I don't know. Does the data really show that we can get high growth without inflation? We got a PPI report this morning that was pretty hot, 3%, higher than expectations of 2.7%. Sure. Core rose to 3.3%.
Right. The PPI number is a little bit different right now than what we're seeing from the CPI. The CPI over the last 3 months, the annual rate was lower than 2. I think that right now we're seeing materials prices like gold and so on are up quite a bit, in part because of all the investment that's happening for artificial intelligence and data centers and so on.
And then you had Kelly Loeffler, the billionaire lady who was appointed to be the senator in Georgia, and then she ended up losing. Remember, we called her Looting Loeffler. And she says the big thing we have to worry about is that white people are being discriminated against in small businesses. That's the big concern. Here, play this clip.
Certain programs had never been audited, like the 8A socially and economically disadvantaged program that discriminated against white business owners in their entirety for 50 years. So we set out to do a 15-year look back audit. We suspended 1,000 people who didn't participate in the submission of financial forms. And then up in Minnesota, obviously, we were all horrified when it was revealed how much fraud in the Somali network was going on. We went back during PPP. We'd seen $430 million of fraud. Thousands of borrowers had defrauded the federal government during that time, stealing funds from small businesses. So we're going to go state by state and looking back, because the Biden administration kicked all that waste, fraud, and abuse under the rug, and we're going after it in multiple programs.
Unbelievable.
And of course, there was last night, actually 1:30 a.m. in the morning, Donald Trump attacks Alex Pretty, who the Trump Border Patrol Gestapo murdered in cold blood, referring to him as an insurrectionist in a post. I covered that last night. I need not go over that again. I'm going to go through these 3 million files in these 3 million documents produced so I can do videos on that. We have the government shutdown that is, hours away right now, caused by MAGA Republicans, caused by Lindsey Graham. I mean, you see it right before your eyes. Lindsey Graham saying, I'm not going to allow this funding to pass unless you do all these things for me. It would still then have to be passed back to the House of Representatives after it passes the Senate. The House is not there yet. So we're definitely heading into another government shutdown right now. The question is for how long? We'll keep you posted every step of the way. And again, we stand in solidarity with Don Lemon. And with all these independent journalists who are under attack right now by this Trump regime, by this Gestapo. Don Lemon, Georgia Fort, we're with you. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe.
The truth is more important than ever. Check out our new Truth Over Lies collection at store.meidastouch.com. All 100% USA union made.